differently if he hadn't made that 2 versus 5 big play.
Yep. And you know what they say about big feet here? Got to bring some big champions to the table. I want to see something new here for Cloud9 up against Echo Fox, who legitimately, they're playing their own style, right? They're playing what's going to work for them. And today, I'm really focused on that mid lane, but also mid lane jungle synergy. Niski plus Svenskeren is a matchup where I want to see them get on that same page that we had with, you know, it was Blabber Jensen, it was Svenskeren Golden Glue that Cloud9 had last year. Here for Echo Fox, though, Phoenix Rush. They meme each other all the time. They're really good friends with one another. It's Rush who's going to have to step up here against Svenskeren, against his old team in Cloud9, and kind of show this guy is here to play. He has those pop-off plays still in him.
Well, we've already mentioned how we are on a further patch this time, so the teams do have more freedom in terms of what they want to ban away. It looks like it's Jace and Thresh banned out by Cloud9. Echo Fox banning out the Lucian and the Nocturne, as Cloud9 will finish off their first rotation of bans with that Cassiopeia.
It's probably going to be an Ezreal ban and then Urgot first pick, or vice versa. I would expect here from Echo Fox. If you're banning Lucian, yeah, don't let Sneaky have that Ezreal. Allow the Urgot to go through. If Flickerish is on the Urgot, it means he's not playing Sylas, so you're in a good spot.
Urgot immediately locked in for Cloud9. Until he gets the nerf bat to probably multiple of his mini kneecaps, you are going to see this champion as a staple in competitive play.
Cloud9 have Sion still up, and they didn't take it.
Monka S. Monka S.
Oh no!
It's locked in for the side of Echo Fox. You can see, though, on the win rate for Urgot, although he's picked so very much, pick and ban rate a combined 100%, he only wins 36% of his games in the LCS. Sion, on the other hand, big meatball boy, gets a lot of work done up there, and it looks like Echo Fox will go ahead and lock in the Varus for Apollo.
Yeah, and right now, ooh, that Varus for Apollo is so interesting because I don't know what he's going to build on this. I don't think you're going back to crit or anything like that. I think it's still on hit for him. And this is a Wiz Fusion old Apollo special going back to when the LCS originated.
The response from Cloud9 is to lock in the Sivir down there for Sneaky, and they're going to go ahead and complete the bottom lane in its entirety, picking up the Alistar there for Zeyzal. We saw Core JJ play that to great effect in the previous match, so we'll see if the man with the big beard can do the same.
An Elise hover here as well. I don't know if they'll go for that. Lee Sin is still available. Gragas still available. Good champions to pick up as a core here. If you go Elise, it kind of signals turret diving's on the table.
Nope, going for the Morgana instead. They said, all right, you got a champion that's got a spell shield. We're going to do you one better. We're going to pick a champion that gives anybody a spell shield.
Yeah, this is so interesting because this is to supplement, or I guess go alongside the fact that there's no mobility on this Varus, to keep him away from, you know, the headbutt pulverize. So make sure that he can absorb that and not just be caught out every single time. So I don't know if they're going to go for something like a Gragas ban here, because Gragas just makes it so you can pop that shield, the Alistar can get in, there's enough magic damage to get in onto him. So I'm really curious to see what Echo Fox end up banning here, or what Cloud9 do too, because the Zoe is one that they're already taking away from Niski.
Zoe's taken out, LeBlanc's taken out. One-shot mages are not very
Fun to play against.
That's a good way to put it. Echo Fox and Cloud9 will both want to avoid them. So we'll see what else they decide to ban here. Remember, both sides having top laners and most likely bottom laners locked in. Let's see what else they want to look for here towards that jungle, towards that mid lane pool. Jarvan banned out by Echo Fox.
I actually really like that. I thought that the Gragas would be there, but actually all I play right now is Jarvan, so I'm surprised that I wasn't thinking of that, because every time that your flash is down as the Varus, he'll
Black
just
Shield
jump
won't
on
save
you,
you.
right? He'll
Black
jump
Shield
on you
can't
and
save
be
you.
able to just pop you. So I do like that ban here. It does leave the Gragas available. The Echo Fox may be first picking that here for their team.
Another Yasuo ban coming through this game as well. We've seen that all day so far today. No team willing to let that one go through.
Especially in the second phase, because if red side gets that, I believe it's been, it was banned by Optic on the red side. So they don't want to set up kind of an environment where it would thrive and then have it picked later on.
Right. All right, there we go. Trademark pick coming out. Rush will be on the Lee Sin this game.
That's what I like to see here. He already, you know, hasn't been playing too well on these other mages and whatnot, like the Karthus. The Gragas was pretty good, but he played Lee Sin once, and It was not to great effect. They did end up losing that game, and we'll see what he's able to do up against a Gragas, which is considered kind of an even matchup, slash Gragas does a bit better. He doesn't have to do like an insect play to knock people into his team, and he can buffer his E against your Q and stop it. So I feel like the Gragas is a little bit of a better pickup here for Cloud9, especially against this team that has the Black Shield, so you want to pop that thing as soon as possible.
Syndra will be the final pickup here for Cloud9 as well. Niski taking that one up against Phoenix, but it does give Echo Fox now their right as red side to make that final counter pick of the game. We'll see what they want to put Phoenix on here to deal with that Syndra. Lissandra, a pick that has a lot of safety in itself, which is good when you're up against a combination like Syndra and Gragas in the mid lane and the jungle. There's so much setup, so much CC, so much damage there. Having that get out of jail free card in the ultimate is very useful.
Yeah, and Lissandra did get nerfed mostly for the mana cost slash damage of her abilities, and so she still has her primary strength intact of being the CC bot that can really just change the landscape of a fight very heavily. And up against something like the Syndra, you do have to take the cleanse now. The Syndra has to play more defensive, and Phoenix, who will be able to take the teleport here, will have more map pressure on this Lissandra than the Syndra early on.
And as we get past the 20-second mark, so we should see the summoners and everything finalized, it is 2 teleports on the side of Echo Fox in both those solo lanes, only 1 for the side of Cloud9. Neither AD carry opting for it this time around, just with the heals. Instead, want more combat power. Both supports having the ignites means we might get to see some bottom lane blood early on here, but honestly, both these junglers being on big playmakers, I want to see some jungle action, some early ganks. We got to see a lot of focus on the bottom lane in the last game. I don't care where they focus, I just want to see them get involved.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be bottom lane again here. Top laners, brawl it out, do your thing. Bottom lane is mostly where the action is going to be. Some in mid, but I feel like the mid is going to trickle over into the bottom lane, because when you have an Alistar and a Sivir, that's a go button lane if I've ever seen one. But then on the opposite side, Varus, Morgana, these 2 guys who just want to root, want to deal a ton of damage, and lock people down. It's pick composition coming in for Echo Fox.
Oh yeah, we talked about initiation in the last game. Well, this game, you've got plenty of it on both sides here yet again. Alistar, Syndra, Gragas, all able to start things off really well. You've also got the Sivir to haste everybody up, while on the other side, tons of CC, tons of initiation, the classic insect opportunity to separate someone and make things happen, as we're about to get into game number 3 of the day. But we are starting off with a bit of a pause, so hopefully we can remedy that situation here quickly.
I saw the Pikachu meme in the audience. It's like, when they tell you the game's paused, it's like, no!
There we go. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. That was one of my favorites for a
It's very important to have that here whenever there's a pause.
Yeah. And so it looks like the guys are ready, so we can put that sign down. We can get ready to get into this game where Echo Fox and Cloud9 taking each other on here. This will be the 3rd game of the day for week 4, day 1.
And as we've said, Echo Fox has gone 1-1 so far every week. The
Time Boy never goes 0-2.
very, very even. But as fun as it is to go 1-1, wouldn't it be even more fun to go 2-0 if they can clean up some of those mistakes that we talked about earlier on, some of those unlucky happenstances?
Yeah.
See if Rush has that smite key where it needs to be this game.
It's the coordination for the team primarily, getting everybody on the same page, because even if a lot of those plays go their way, it's like, what's the follow-up look like? Is everybody in the right position to capitalize on this? On the bottom side, though, oh, there's the pick. Zeyzal is actually going to take a boatload of damage here.
Binding onto Zeyzal, but I don't think you've got any follow-up here to really...
No, he's going to keep going.
Go after it. A binding again. Nice. Forcing out the flash early from the Alistar, and that'll do wonders to help dissuade what you mentioned where you said, I expect to see some attention on the bottom lane again. Well, when your Alistar can't flash in to make a play early on, there might not be enough of a reason to go down there. Hawkwo and Apollo continuing to move through the enemy jungle. They're saying, all right, the Alistar's hurt. He had to go back. If we find anybody, the worst thing we could find is a 2 versus 2 against the AD carry and junglers, so we feel safe moving up.
And I don't believe they warded in there either, so they didn't even leave any breadcrumbs behind. Oh, actually, in just that one bush. They put both in there. That was the one. So they won't see the start of the red buff, is what I was mostly concerned with there, is if the Gragas will start the red and if they'll be kind of keen to that. So they're actually checking. They're very paranoid about this.
Yeah, Hex Splash over the wall from Zeyzal just to make sure nobody was in that brush. I like it just in case they were. And you can see on your screen right now, a true display of skill. 80% win rate with Ezreal. Granted, it's only one game, but a 0% win rate without Ezreal so far for Cloud9.
Yep, that's a Small sample size if I've ever seen one.
Hey,
Single game.
numbers don't lie, Irene. A 0 is a 0.
That is true. That is very true. But we'll see. They kind of, I believe, think that the Gragas was on the bottom side, and now they will actually know that he's on the bottom side as he starts up the Raptors. So they know where Svenskeren is. Rush is going to go do a... is this a top lane gank? I think Rush might do a top lane gank.
Farming up those Krugs. Hit a couple more of the little ones. Just grab as much gold as you can. A lot of times you'll see players not fully finish off
just
the
keep running,
camp.
keep running. Because they're
to
going to hit
move up
level
towards
2.
it.
They're going to hit level 2.
He wants
right
to be
now.
there because the Urgot could go in. Nope. He's saying, not going after this play. I'm hungry for crap.
Oh, man. And this is what that matchup is supposed to look like early. Whoa.
Ooh, Rush, you're going to take some damage there, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Strike, you're going to do some damage there, buddy.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, now it's like you got to look at the mid laners. The codependency of this right now. Phoenix hits 3. You got to shove that lane, but I don't think he gets to help his jungler at all. So Rush took a really awkward route.
Yeah.
Maybe looked for a top lane gank, didn't get it. Maybe looked for the Scuttle Crab, doesn't get it. So kind of relegated to go do his Raptors.
Svenskeren will pick up that Scuttle Crab for free. Rush not going to bother trying to fight over it, but of course picking up those chickens means that he'll hit level 3, have all 3 abilities in the kit, and really become Lee Sin now. See if maybe he wants to make a gank happen. Mid lane Niski is keeping things pretty much equalized against Phoenix, who will continue shoving that wave towards him. That's what Lissandra does. Shove the wave up, look for the opportunity to go somewhere. Shove the wave up, go somewhere else. But bottom side, it's Hakuo and Apollo who are doing a good job keeping that wave shoved up. Piercing arrows plus auto attacks just flying all over the place. Oh, ooh. What? He weaved that one straight past him.
Like, we think about Hakuo, most people are going to think about the Thresh.
Yep.
The Morgana is the other one that jumps to mind for him, where these skill shots, everybody's just like, I can't believe how he's able to do it. And he won't throw it until it's almost guaranteed for him, where people are up against a wall. He'll throw it at these angles that just catch people off guard. And Hakuo is so good on this champion. It's just that other one, the other signature pick that jumps to mind.
Apollo on the Varus, having a good CS lead over Sneaky Sivir right now. We know Varus has always historically been that really strong laner. Just the range combined with how bursty he can be if he gets the Blight stacks on top of detonating it with a spell. Oh, very hard to go toe-to-toe with this guy.
And the fact that their Alistar doesn't have flash either means they don't really get to do much in this lane. And he has to kind of CS under turret half the time.
I mean, that's the threat of the all-in lane, right? If they eventually decide to pull the trigger and they say, this is where we're going all in. This is all the chips being down. We're going to kill you here. Everything's just completely forced. But you can't make that big bet when you don't have all your chips in the time.
Yep. He's got to make sure that they are ready to throw those down. It'll be up in a bit. But Rush is...
Boy. Nope. He is going to be kind. He's not going to gank them.
But wait.
Maybe.
But wait.
Oh. Nope. He's out. Svenskeren will walk into the brush. Surely there's not a Lee Sin here. Scuttle Crab has been taken, though.
Yeah, Niski saw him on the bottom side. Rush is going to take a back. Is he? Yeah, there's question mark pings on the top side. They're saying that Rush is going to back because he was bottom. He's going to back and go to the top side. So either he's going to look for a gank or he's going to do his Krugs. The Krugs would be, hey, I'm looking for a ton of experience here. I'm looking to get on the, just level 6 as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Right now, though, how close is Phoenix to 6? Phoenix is like a wave away, I would say, from being 6. And if he's able to get onto Niski, it could be something that works very well for them. And there's the pressure from the teleport that was coming out.
But remember, Niski still has the cleanse here, too. So you've got to be able to not only hit one CC, but hit the follow-up one immediately after he breaks it. Usually you'll see the Lissandras go for the glacial path into the Ring of Ice to lock them down, force out the cleanse, and then you still have the ulti to CC them from range. As bottom side, it's Hakuo in some trouble. There's your all-in we're talking about. Cloud9 will make the first blood happen.
And he didn't even need flash to do it. His flash is up now for Zeyzal. He just was able to get in there. Hakuo flashes away, and he's still dead. It took him a long time to go for that flash.
To go back to the poker analogy, they just went all in on like a 2-5 offsuit, but it worked. Their opponent weren't able to call the bluff, and that's big for Cloud9, making that one work. It looked like they were having a rough laning phase, looked like they were down, but as soon as they saw the chance, they jumped on it. Let's take another look.
Yeah, and this is off of the fact that they think that Rush is topside after the gank. So Rush went topside. He's not here to back them up. That's just a straight-up headbutt pulverize in the bush that you can see him in, and then it takes him so long to flash away that there's all these extra autos coming in.
And he saw him use the Tormented Soil. He saw the very low mana pool, and he's just thinking, hey, there's no way he can bind and Black Shield. Let's go.
Yep. You only get to choose one or the other in that situation. And that's going to be a whole bunch of pressure coming the way of Cloud9 off that kill. It does go over to Zeyzal. You would want it on Sneaky, but at the end of the day, a kill is a kill, and they're not going to complain too much about that.
Still down about 15 in the CS department, but there are a couple minions here to mop up underneath the turret. Topside Solo will continue farming up on that Scion. The lane goes about the way you would expect it to. Also seeing the Sunfire Cape approach as opposed to the Thornmail coming out here.
So the difference is that the Sunfire helps you kind of hold the wave and push the wave a little bit better. It also means that you can just stand in the wave and always have Grasp on for the most part. So whenever you do get to hit them, you get to get more HP, whereas the Bramble Vest is just for the trading back and forth and making sure that you cut his healing and stuff. So opting more for getting the Grasp procs up, the Sunfire Cape eventually.
Rush will get level 6 off of taking this red buff, which brings Lee Sin fully online. Flash ult, we know the playmaking potential of that one. I want to see it show up somewhere here. Rush is heading towards the top side. You can see the on my way ping coming out, looking to make the gank happen here onto Licorice.
He's been top so many times. Solo's
back
got the
and
ult
forth.
here.
Here we go. Here comes your ulti, forcing the flash out. Good job there from Solo, making sure they get something for it.
Rush has been top like 3 times. I feel like this isn't the lane that he should be spending that much time in because his bottom lane had priority, his mid lane had priority. He's actually ganking the only like real losing lane for him.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Oh, man.
Got the headbutt, but not the pulverize. Oh! Nice job coming out there from Svenskeren and trying to lock these guys down. Hakuo, no flash means have a bite of pizza. Sneaky makes sure that he gets himself that one.
That sounds like a good time, though. Pizza and beer? That sounds amazing.
That pizza had pineapple on it or something.
Oh,
that was not the kind you wanted.
Hakuo ends up dropping 2 deaths for him now, and they were able to pick him off. The fact that the flash was blown from Zeyzal early has meant nothing here except for just the CS is now even, and the fact that Hakuo has died twice. Just a complete reversal of that lane.
Good stuff for Cloud9 on the bottom half of the map. Let's see how Svenskeren set this up.
Svenskeren goes straight in. They see him, just body slam, flash, cast, doesn't hit Hakuo with it, hits Apollo with it. So Hakuo would have been even further back, doesn't matter though.
And taking a look back bottom side, as soon as they've got the resources online, Cloud9 tries to make yet another play. You can see Zeyzal using his ultimate there to try to tank up that turret, make the dive happen. Look at how many plates have already been taken here. Nearly 3 down on the bottom lane tier 1.
And that was really nice from Zeyzal too, because you saw he had the ignite ticking on Apollo, and he walked almost back into turret range. Then he took a step back up to wait for the ignite to finish, then walked straight through. If he had actually gone in and then had to step back out again, he would have been in range for Hakuo and Apollo to potentially retaliate.
Always watch your dots. Never draw aggro on accident. It happens with ignites. It happens with corrupting potions.
I mean, we've seen it in professional play with a Teemo before.
Yup. Stop dots.
Well, years ago now.
Niski farms up the mid lane here. Still hasn't lost a single plate on his own turret. As you can see, the Essence Reaver completed for Sneaky in the bottom lane. Early lane felt rough. Feeling good now. You talked about how this item feels really nice on Sivir. You get the cooldowns, you get the mana. Always going to be ricocheting, always going to be pushing waves up as Solo gets himself back here. No first item completed onto anybody else in the game so far except for Sneaky.
Yep.
Stopwatches are online. We have now hit that 10-minute point. You can see those there for Svenskeren, for Niski. Over on the side of Echo Fox, you've got one on the Scion and the Lissandra and the Lee Sin and the Morgana. So quite a few golden statues this game.
The stopwatch check happens every 10 minutes.
I have to do it.
At the 10-minute mark. Oh, Licorice skirting back a little bit there. Making sure he doesn't get collapsed on there. But Rush, pretty much no effect on this game. He's gone for a Hex Drinker, which is good against his jungle opponent. So if he's going for like fights and skirmishes in the jungle or around mid lane, which it looks like that's what he's going to start trying to do, it's going to be good for him.
Ooh.
I mean, this dude has cleanse, so I don't know if a binding is going to be the end of him.
We could go for the binding and maybe a flash ulti from Lissandra. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but either way, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to have like a really clean like Rush Lee Sin kickback play. Oh.
Oh. Sight!
Let it go! Let the key go, get the flash off. Rush gonna run straight down. Oh, is this one of those Rush don't give a damn plays? Okay.
Well, Svenskeren's not going to stick around and find out. He doesn't want anything to do with that one. Gets himself back. Both junglers showing their faces bottom side means everywhere else on the map will continue business as usual. Rush clears out some vision here around this first Drake. 11 minutes in. Nobody's taken that one yet. Cloud is not one of those super appealing first Drakes. As you said, it's more about the ocean and the mountain.
Yeah, I actually put Infernal now at the bottom of the free 14-minute list. I think Ocean helps you in the laning phase. I think that Mountain helps you get the turret plates. And then I think the Cloud helps people rotate. In fact, it's more movement speed than it was before. Remember, it's tripled out of combat. So I feel like Cloud is also higher priority because Infernal's 10% more AD and AP. And when you're sitting around with like 100 at this point in the game, you're getting 10 off of that. It's not that large of a deal, but hold on.
Oh, there's that Grok. It's in some trouble. Rush makes sure that Echo Fox finds themselves to play in the stopwatch. Means Niski's not getting anything in return. The binding finds its way down. It'll lock Zeyzal up. It's solo on the front line. Sonic Wave into the resonating strike, looking to find even more. Cloud9 taken very low. Echo Fox gets their own man out, but the harpoon comes through. It won't find its way down into solo, and Cloud9 will not get the retaliation they're looking for.
Wait, oh, Rush.
The Rush is getting greedy. All right, smite it just to get the hell out of town.
But that's good from Sneaky to stick around and say, I'm full HP. I can make sure they don't take the red. So that's him saving the bread buff for his jungler. A good heads-up play to defend that when Svenskeren isn't around because he got dropped.
This is where, as the AD carry, you spam me red.
Yeah, next one's mine, I swear. If they go to check, this is where Rush sees them walking through. They don't quite see the ward on the left. And then it's just the catch out there. The clean kick, clean kill. Nice stopwatch from Rush to stop the ultimate. And then Zeyzal absorbs so much damage here, but this is the support in the top laner. Solo doesn't have any mana left. Rush goes in, he has to get out. He does get stunned up there, and then they're not able to finish. Nobody dies to the jungle camp, though. Not like the Gromp in the
No more avenging Gromps with some sort of vendettas to settle against Syndra's, so now it's Zeyzal continuing to roam around on this Alistar. You can see the mobility boots purchased for both the supports. They both want to be moving around, trying to assist these other lanes. The bottom lane has reached a point where Sivir and Varus can both pretty much insta-clear the waves, so they don't exactly need their supports to hang around and help them. Apollo clears that one out, shoves it up. Blade of the Ruined King first on him, indicates that we are likely seeing that one-hit build you were talking about. As the mid lane has the Proto Belt done for the Lissandra. You've got this full Sunfire cape for Solo. You've got more turret plate money going over to Phoenix just in time as the plates are about to fall.
Yep,
there they go. Fall off.
Get the total tally soon, but Rush finally making a play towards that mid lane. Almost getting another kill onto Zeyzal there too. Oh, he wards it right in time to see Svenskeren starting it.
Will he complete his back, or is he going to stick around just to make sure Cloud9 don't do this any further? Does decide to stick around.
Well,
Licorice has that top lane priority pretty heavily in his favor. Solo still wants to rotate around and try to stop this Rift Herald take. Phoenix also hanging around the pit here. Niski still has control over the mid lane. Licorice going to be the one who draws aggro from Echo Fox first. 5 turret plates taken for Cloud9, only 3 for Echo Fox, so about an extra kill's worth of gold in plate advantage coming out here for Cloud9.
All right,
all 5 members at Shelly. This could be a bloodbath if Echo Fox actually decides to fight for it. Decimating smash down the Licorice, looking to make even more happen. Glacial Path goes in. Phoenix trying to lock them all down. Sneaky's in some trouble. Gets himself out of the way of the binding. Svenskeren going into the stasis, keeping himself alive. Zeyzal peels back. They're trying to kite themselves backwards. And Echo Fox are in some trouble. Phoenix has to get away over the wall, but instead he's going to get away into the grinder. The shutdown credit over to Licorice. And it's 1 kill for Cloud9. Hawkwill goes over the wall with the flash. And C9 will take objective plus kill.
And they weren't able to get in there completely. Echo Fox just were trying to skirt that fight, see if they could actually make it in, and it was too late. The Rift Herald already went over. Licorice is just going to pop it on the top side, and everybody else was mid, so he's going to get this turret no problem.
Pop, top, and drop it. Here we go, Shelly. Get in there, bonk. And we just need to shove that wave up a little bit harder. Licorice trying to get the shotgun knees ready to go. And that should be first turret over to the side of Cloud9, so another big win off the back of that fight.
Yep. First turret going over to Licorice. The kill also going over to him because of ultimate right here. Barely able to get in there and see it, so Solo's ultimate gets towards the back there, but Apollo, I feel like that fight comes down to the fact that Zeyzal was keeping Apollo out of it for most of it. That backline, you're waiting, where's the Varus ultimate? Where's that extra little oomph gonna come from? And it was Zeyzal in the backline making sure that Apollo couldn't actually do much. He headbutted him straight out and then walked towards the fight. So doing work on the Alistar. It's a little harder to see those contributions to it, but when you see Apollo show up late, that's where you go, okay, why was he late?
Exactly. Why was the contribution not there? Where was that big DPS threat? I mean, it's on-hit Varus, like you were talking about. This isn't a guy who's going to just hit you with massive piercing arrows because he's stacking lethality. He's got to have that closer range, constant output, as Rush will hang around here, wanting to remove this vision, this control ward, I should say. Won't be able to do it just yet. Black Shield down to keep him safe. Rush getting really aggressive here, stepping forward into the face of Cloud9 as Echo Fox finally brings in enough backup to clear that vision ward out of the way. And you can see both sides hotly contesting the vision around the middle of the map. I've talked before about how I look at where the vision is currently being placed and contested as a good indicator of who's in charge in the game. And when it's constantly a back and forth war around the river, that lets me know that we're on pretty even footing.
Yeah, except for that top side of the map where that lane is just pushed all the way in. Now the priority's coming down from Licorice, who's able to walk straight down. Solo doesn't have teleport. Solo's going to have nothing to do with this. This will be a free Ocean Drake.
Cloud9 getting another neutral objective, feeling very confident with where they are here in this game. Bring down the barrel, bring down the smite. Take an easy one there for these guys. 17.5 minutes into the game, a little over 2,000 gold ahead of Echo Fox. Next Drake will be that Infernal as Apollo continues to farm up here on the Varus. Still only that Blade of the Ruined King in the inventory.
So Rush is running around with a Guardian Angel, Hex Drinker, no
Warrior.
No completed jungle item, which gives you a lot of AD, and it gives you CDR. So he's running around with no CDR right now.
The Warrior completed jungle item is one of the single most cost-effective items in the game to upgrade the smite to the Warrior. Putting the gem in the dagger is incredibly cost-effective because both the other jungle items, and I say both because nobody builds Blood Razor, have some special effect on them. The Runics Echoes, it makes the blue proc. The Cinderhulk has the flame and the HP magnification. Warrior is just a ball of stats, and it is a damn good ball of stats. Rush gets himself away over the wall. Aqua pops the Black Shield onto his own person to make sure that he gets out of there as well, but I don't know. All right.
All these skill shots going back and forth. Who's gonna go? Nobody. Chase the crab into the pit.
Beat up the crab.
All right, so he's gonna be able to pick that one up. And it's just the same area where everybody's just fighting over control. There's no dragon coming up, guys. It's just the fact that they want to play for that bottom side of the map. Both those turrets are low in the tier 1 on the bot side, so whoever can really get control here will end up winning and getting a turret earlier.
The Rift Child was already taken. The Dragon, as you said, was down. Baron hasn't spawned yet, so the strongest neutral objective on the map is actually the Crab, and that was secured by Echo Fox, so you can call that a small victory there. For their side, Rush 1-0-0 on this Lee Sin, a little bit behind in farm compared to his opponent on the Gragas, but still doing okay so far.
When you build a Guardian Angel, it means he's going to try to go ham.
Yeah, ballistic missile item. Yeah, unless you just go in, you blow up them and you, but then you come back and you're not too worried about it.
Exactly. You're supposed to just have it to be a trade for trade, but revive afterwards. So he's trying to make that worth it. And when you buy it early, you get more value out of it the more times you get it up in the game. So we'll see what play he goes for. And that's why I'm watching so intently here, because it's hard to make a play on this team. They have the Alistar, they have the Spell Shield, they got so much as well with the Gragas too.
When it comes to revives in League of Legends, I always also like to point out, whenever it's a revive passive or Guardian Angel, when you have a revive active on your champion, being stupid and getting picked is much more of a consequence than it normally would be, because not only do you die, you give away your passive for free. And passives all have about a 5-minute cooldown, so Rush has to be very mindful of not finding himself in a spot where he can be picked off before his allies can help, because otherwise the Guardian Angel is not worth it.
Oh yeah, it's just like using your stopwatch at 10 minutes when there's nobody else around, and you're probably just gonna die anyway, right? This is a 5-minute cooldown on the Guardian Angel, 45 AD, 40 armor. So in terms of just the stats it brings to the table, a lot is put into that that passive. So you have to make value of it.
Echo Fox rotating multiple people here into the mid lane. They know that there are 2 in the side lanes on the side of Cloud9, so they want to try to push this up, take some priority. Not confident enough to push any further forward, though. And considering it's Cloud9 who are better handling the side wave, breaking up their team, farming the minions everywhere, they're pulling even further ahead in the gold. Almost up to 3K right now. Solo will farm up this bottom lane that has been pushed out by Licorice. Righteous Glory plus Black Cleaver on that Urgot means he's going to be scary in these team fights, Cyrene.
Yeah, he's got to have team fights. And the Baron is where Cloud9 are going to try to situate and start making them happen. Pretty much, I would say it's kind of even across the board. Just 2.6K advantage. That's a lot of it is that top lane and that bottom lane. It's a sneaky about 1,000 gold up off the kills and assists. And then the top lane has just been that kill and a lot of those turret plates.
Yep, mid and jungle very close between the two sides.
Or the turret kill, sorry.
Echo Fox wants to get their own blue buff here, but Licorice doesn't want to allow that one. Solo's trying to put some work in on that, but it will be secured ultimately by Echo Fox. Good try there from Cloud9. Zeyzal still always looking for these opportunities. Look at the flashes, look at the summoners across the entirety of this game right now. Everything is up.
Yep. And right there, Rush went to the top side of the map to try and get a pick on Niski, but he never gets to the lane, backs up, and it just wastes his time as they get the mid turret because he's not there. So every time you try to make a play on somebody in a side lane and you put your team at a numbers disadvantage, if you aren't doing anything, you're actually putting your team behind as the gold lead just balloons a little bit more. And I've seen Rush do this 3-4 times now this game.
Licorice is the bait now for Cloud9 to the bottom side. He's making Echo Fox start off the fight, and now the stasis is going to be popped. There goes your Guardian Angel. Rush will come back up here in just a moment. Solo getting himself back. A nice cast to separate the reinforcements from Echo Fox. Apollo will find nothing with the ultimate, and that means Cloud9 can disengage.
Yep, and Licorice, he gets out. Rush has to flash. Rush tried to make the play and uses the ultimate, and his Guardian Angel is down now 2. So he's going to have to find a little bit more value for actually making something stick here up against Cloud9.
Echo Fox is not willing to surrender this Infernal Drake for free, though. They're saying you are going to have to fight for this one, C9. Rush still low, 40% HP, no Guardian Angel, Cloud9 coming to collapse.
Yeah, but the big thing is they have Phoenix now. Phoenix has the ultimate, he has the Zhonya's. He's going to be a big power point for this team.
Ooh, that's a very dangerous choke point to fight in for either side. There's so much AoE, so much crowd control potential. Zeyzal coming around from the flank, looking to make sure he can get behind these guys if the fight does start off. And for committing their teleports, for committing both of their TPs to stopping this, Echo Fox gets nothing, and Cloud9 gets what they came for.
Yeah, they get those TPs. Licorice uses his own, but simultaneously, it's just more and more going over to Cloud9 here. With that Infernal Drake, that'll just boost those attack AP stats for them.
Sneaky with 2 items, Berserker Greaves thrown in there as well for good measure. You got your Syndra with a Morellonomicon, the Luden's Echo. Mercury Treads this time, no Sorcerer's Shoes, so not quite the level of squishy explosion that sometimes you see out of Syndra, but still very potent. Bottom side, it's Licorice and Scarin finding their way onto Solo, who has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The turret is even still up and in the way.
He wants to drift.
Wants to drift away from that one, but there's no deja vu to be found today. Not when Scarin gets right in front of you. Right back into the grinder you go, and the zombie will do nothing. Licorice just going to fling him around there to have a little bit of extra fun at the end, but that's 300 more gold into the Cloud9 pocket.
That looked like Solo hesitated and thought maybe I should ulti straight at the turret and try to kill it with Demolish or even just slamming his head into it, right?
Get something for your trouble.
Yeah. So it ended up being, well, he hesitated for too long, and they collapsed on him. They get the top turret because, like I was saying with Rush, when you go to a lane as a jungler and you spend your time there, the other side of the map is something that you have to seed because you can't be in 2 places at once.
It's that conversation that we have about... It's the same thing I've said before about having resources where sometimes the threat of it is greater than the actual thing itself. The same thing can be said of your jungler. As soon as your jungler shows where he's a threat at, all the threat anywhere else immediately evaporates, and your opponents can do whatever they please.
Yeah, and speaking of doing whatever you please, Sneaky on this Sivir, he's about to hit that 3-item spike for him. This is fantastic with the Essence Reaper back in with the CDR, and the fact that he's got the Rapid Fire Cannon to compensate for the range issues that Sivir typically has, and the Infinity Edge will be his 3rd item, which will put him at that 75% crit, and he will be ready to go here.
Welcome back to the game, Cloak of Agility. We missed you. The crit cloak. Solo gets himself away there from Licorice. Not in any condition to win any trades right now. Gargoyle's Stone Plate is completed, so Solo will be pretty tanky once the team fights start up. He's in the middle of everybody to pop that active. As Rush and the rest of Echo Fox will group up and push up mid, but honestly, Zyrene, Echo Fox have made very little progress in terms of pushing down anything. As you mentioned, they got the top lane tier 1 when their opponents were bottom getting the kill onto Solo, but mid lane just will not fall. Cloud9 is always there.
Yeah, and
Niski got some good damage down onto Rush, who stays alive thanks to the Hex Drinker. Gets himself away. Fox doing a good job disengaging this one. Very nicely done from Apollo there, making sure he gets in the way of that harpoon, but it will not be enough to save Hakuo, who falls on the back end of the fight.
Everybody chases Hakuo down. He still has his flash, but he used his black shield there. That was the Hex Drinker and the black shield on Rush to keep him alive when Niski was trying to just blow him up with the Syndra ultimate. And one of the things that Echo Fox hasn't been using is Phoenix's lead and the TP advantage. They keep putting him in side lane, but they don't get much out of it, and now they're catching Solo.
Now Echo Fox are finding themselves in a bad spot yet again. Solo will tank
Phoenix
up on the front
wants
line, buying enough time. Phoenix will not take the glacial path. Is pretty low on mana here. Also, they had no eyes on Niski. He won't get the stun. No scatter of the week onto Phoenix or Apollo. Solo still looking to get himself away. Cloud9 knows they don't have the Syndra ultimate or the Gragas ultimate or the Urgot ultimate right now. They aren't going to overcommit for anything here. Echo Fox glad to not lose anyone there, and they'll disengage it.
I'm just waiting for Phoenix to make a play in this game because he has that teleport that was wasted earlier to try and get towards the Drake that they didn't even pick up. But he also has a CS advantage. He keeps pulling Niski to the side lane, who doesn't have teleport, like you said at the beginning of the game. It's those 2 teleports to 1, and they aren't using that advantage. Niski is a little slow on the rotations versus Phoenix, but they aren't pulling the trigger as the rest of the team against Cloud9.
Cloud9 still always just looking for any chance they can get. Licorice is fearless going up on these front lines. C9 ultimates are back and ready to go here again. Binding finds its way down onto the Gragas. Been Scarin getting himself out of the tormented soil now. Glacial Path goes through. It's not going to be taken. Zeyzal was there, ready to pulverize if Phoenix did decide to go in on that one. Cloud9 with priority over the Baron Pit. They've also got the control ward down to make sure that their opponents aren't aware of what's going on. Oh, comes the stun and the damage, and Rush is not going to go down yet again. Guardian Angel passive is back up, even if he did. The escape is pretty important there. Solo trying to get himself away from any further attack now. Rush healing up off the Wolf Camp. He uses the Smite for the heal, as well as the fact that Lee Sin gets that spell vamp from the W.
He also has Maw of Malmortis too, so he's just got that passive running, trying to keep that on. He's looking for a flank here. Can he get to the backside?
Counterattack comes out. Phoenix looking to lock down the Cloud9 members. Zeyzal getting himself away. Rush goes for the kick, able to find it on the sneaky, flashing away, keeping himself alive. Licorice killing spree down onto the enemy Scion, trying to rampage into the backline now, grabbing the damage down onto Zeyzal. Rush will barely keep himself alive, trying to escape, but the rockets are flying. Nobody else dead just yet. It's 1 kill for nothing for Cloud9.
And it's that disjointed team fight from Echo Fox. Rush goes all in to get that kick, uses his Guardian Angel that had come up just a few seconds ago, and Phoenix still has ultimate. Nothing is committed there from Echo Fox from the mid laner, whereas Cloud9 are just making sure the fight goes their way with everybody is on the same page. The Baron is on the table. There's the TP coming in, and it's just to get back to this area so Cloud9 don't have to worry about that TP advantage again that Phoenix usually has in the mid lane.
Echo Fox do a good job keeping Cloud9 away from the Baron, but now, can Cloud9 find something else yet again? It's always Cloud9 on the offensive. It seems like they're always the ones trying to make things happen here, while Echo Fox is in pure response mode.
Yeah, Echo Fox, it's funny because like it feels as though one person really wants to do something. They're a little antsy about it, anxious. Like Rush, you see he wants to make some plays, but then it just feels like everybody else not on the same page, or when Hakuo was looking for it. And right here, Zeyzal, same page!
The heart, Zeyzal's going in, and Stinky's on a killing spree. It's 2 dead on the side of Echo Fox immediately, as Licorice will 1v2 and bide his time. The rest of the team has arrived, and Solo goes over the wall. The stun finds its way down onto the enemy mid laner. Phoenix will not escape today. He'll take Svenskeren with him, but he will fall.
Phoenix ends up finally getting in there, but it's just too little too late. Zeyzal with the incredible flank there. This guy's Alistar, it just comes out of nowhere. You never see it coming until he's already there. He's already running straight at your team with mobility boots, and he's already changing the landscape of the fight. Let's see this one more time. Comes up from the bottom. You don't expect him to be right there. I don't even know if they see him. Is he right outside of vision, like hugging the wall? Then it's just right in, flash, headbutt, pulverize, onto 3. Hakuo just has the, I guess the alacrity to hit the button on Flash, get out, and the black shield on himself, though. But it's just so fast. Zeyzal with the snap engage.
Alistar is such a fun support to watch because he's such a huge playmaker for a class and a role that often goes underappreciated because your contributions to the game aren't as big or as flashy as an AD carry putting up 4-digit crits or a mid laner blowing somebody up instantly. This is one of the champions that sort of breaks that rule and lets the support players really shine. That's what you're talking about. And in the bottom side, Licorice is saying this isn't going to be flashy, but it is going to be slow and painful unless you get the hell out of here. Solo forced to walk out.
Yep, Solo has to walk away. Bounty's now on 3 of the members of Cloud9. And this 5,000 gold lead. Sneaky's got that 1K bounty on himself, and he is doing a great job of staying in the back, dealing the damage. But Zeyzal, I gotta say, he's that guy front and center for me right now, who's been making all of the plays on this Alistar. The flanks, the knocking of Apollo out of the fight. He is just knocking primary targets away every single time.
And you talked about it seemed that Echo Fox was disjointed earlier, like they didn't all appear on the same page, locking down Sneaky when Rush kicks him in. Well, now Sneaky not only has the Spell Shield of the Sivir, he's got the QSS. His mid laner has a cleanse. Everyone on this team feels so difficult to kill for the side of Cloud9. If Echo Fox hasn't been coordinated yet, I don't know how they're going to find that coordination now, especially staring down the barrel of this team that is just so far in control of the map. They're choking Echo Fox out.
Yep, Rush going to try to look for a play on Licorice. It's actually a huge commitment of 4 people on the bottom side with Phoenix on the top. So now Cloud9 are just all going to go top side, get Baron control. And that was so scary because if they actually committed to that, they probably lose the Baron. Zeyzal, Hex Flash.
This could turn
Wait,
into
this is
something
blind.
Crazy.
Hello.
Blind he goes. Headbutt onto Rush. Sneaky's just going to run him down. He's not afraid of this. Nice spell shield onto Rush's kick. Hakuo goes into the stasis, keeping himself alive. It's going to be Licorice into the Gargoyle Stone Plate, keeping himself on the front lines, making sure he's tanking 3 people. Phoenix escaping into the back line, has the mana very low, cannot continue the fight. Echo Fox manages to get themselves 1 for 1. That's the best fight they've had so far, but Cloud9 still maintains priority. They will keep pushing up in the mid lane. They will push down to tier 3 turret, and it's time for Echo Fox to regroup. They've got to try to keep this inhibitor alive, because Cloud9's control over the map right now will only get greater as the Scion comes in, and Solo starts it up. He won't get the decimating smash, but a nice binding onto Niski will force the cleanse.
And they get exactly what you were talking about, Flowers. They get them off of the inhibitor, so Echo Fox get a moment to breathe there because Solo comes in with the flank. But the 1 for 1, that was honestly as good as Echo Fox could hope for after that fight started off. With Zeyzal, the blind Hex Flash, everybody going, all right, we're going in. It's the dog pile in there. And Rush can't even just hold a candle to Sneaky's damage.
With the way the fights have been going so far, strictly Cloud9 favored, that was really good from Echo Fox, making that 1 for 1 happen. But now they've got to get in here and try to shut this down. Phoenix goes in, he's got the lockdown. They're looking for the Cloud9 members. They've got the kill on Azazel. They're going to pick up Niski next. They haven't lost anyone yet, but they did lose the objective. Cloud9 will trade 2 for the Baron.
Yep, they trade 2 for the Baron, but they're also going to lose that mid turret as well. So they're going to run straight towards this. It's already low, and this is a bit of a power play here for Echo Fox. They have 40 seconds before Niski is back. They got all of the things out of it.
You've got to flex those muscles. This is the time. You're 5 versus 3. Make something happen. Get whatever you can in return, because afterwards, the next 2.5 minutes are going to be a big defense.
Yep. And Rush, he's just rushing in. He needs to get in there. They put down the trinket to see. They put down the, they put down the blue trinket. You can see it. He can't reach it. GA is popped. And then they go on to Niski because it's what they can do at that moment. So that was Niski and Zeyzal sacrificing themselves to make sure that Svenskeren doesn't have any pressure on him.
Svenskeren easily securing the smite there means you've still got 3 members of Cloud9 with this Baron buff ready to go. The important part about Baron and what it's often used for is setting up pressure in multiple lanes. So as long as everybody has these, remember it's your mid laner and your support who do not. So Licorice, that top laner, that split pusher the entire game, he can still separate, enchant a second lane with that Baron buff and make it so they can apply that pressure. Next Drake is the Elder. Cloud9 with 2 Infernals and 3 Elemental Drakes total has a pretty big prize to claim in that.
Yeah, that Elder in 10 seconds here. And Zeyzal is the sneakiest cow I have ever seen because he just finds these angles that are just very surprising. His sweeper will always be down when he's like standing still because he already swept the area. And Rush just can't find a way in. And when he does, the fight's already pretty much over.
And there's Licorice doing exactly what I talked about. Bring the Baron minions up, apply the pressure to a different lane. Make Echo Fox have to rotate to answer you because Cloud9 now has priority. If Echo Fox wants to move over, they're running right into a wall to do it. And Cloud9 have out-rotated their opponents and set themselves up for a fight in open ground. There's no turret here that's going to give Echo Fox an advantage. They are going to start the fight off nicely with some damage onto Zeyzal. Solo gets himself back, tier 3 down, inhibitor down. Cloud9 still just continues pushing further in. Solo starting things off. Goes into the Gargoyle Stone Plate. Both are going to be stuck there. Phoenix keeping himself in the stasis. Make sure he stays alive. Svenskaren's booted up. The damage continuing to come down. Licorice getting himself away. But Sneaky is a machine. And he's able to find a double. Zeyzal allows the push to continue. As Apollo will fall. It's a triple for Sneaky. They might find even more. He needs another auto attack. And the Quadra is found. The heal is popped. And Sneaky will look to chase him down. Hakuo escapes and denies the pentakill.
Oh boy.
But will Cloud9 go all
Everyone in, get
will!
Sneaky, run away! Sneaky,
ran away!
Sneaky, what the hell?
He ran away! I delivered the pizza to the wrong house. Sorry, I'll leave now. It's still a Nexus being taken. It's still a Cloud9 victory, but it's still not a Penta.
They were gonna give him the Penta and
That was an ending.
Oh my God. I think he might have been incredibly smart about that, but
To actually end the game, yeah, probably.
yeah. Feel like he's like, all right, everybody, let's get him the Penta, get him the Penta. Wait, the game is more important. Let's not troll.
Wait, we actually need to win.
That is probably the sneakiest way to end the game.
Just Cloud9 things. All right, let's forget about the last 30 seconds of the game and talk about the rest of the game instead. It was a good showing from Cloud9, who, as I said earlier, seemed like they were just in control from start to finish.
Yeah, Zeyzal especially with the flanks, with the setup, knocking people out of key fights very early on and finding the right angles. And Licorice really dominating that top side of the map, making the Solo never had really anything to say in this game. And it looked like it was going to be a rough one from the start with Zeyzal blowing Flash, but Zeyzal able to come up big in the fight, Svenskeren visiting the bottom lane and helping him out, helping a brother out, making sure that they are good to go, made it that Apollo and Hakuo didn't have much to do in this game.
And Cloud9 didn't seem like they were going to find themselves in a spot where they made too many mistakes either. Even as we saw them initially go for the Baron after winning a fight and Echo Fox showed up, Cloud9 said, nope, we're not going to risk this. There's no point in doing anything goofy that might throw our lead away. They played safe. They played to their own win conditions. They knew they had the scaling Sivir, and they made it work.
Yeah, and Echo Fox, it looks, once again, pretty bad for them, where Phoenix, he's doing all right. CS looks good. Getting people involved in these fights and on the same page, we saw the difference there in execution. We saw when people would go in from Cloud9, it was a dog pile. Everyone was in. And then for Echo Fox, it was hesitation from a few members every now and then, back and forth, not full commitment there. That is not what you want to see from this team that's supposed to have these pop-off players.
Well, for more on the Cloud9 win and all the associated shenanigans, Avali is standing by with Pizza Delivery Sneaky.
Thanks, Flower. Sneaky, congratulations on the win, but tell me about that almost pentakill, because that had me worried for a second.
He wouldn't give me the pinna. I was sad.
I saw Reaper run out and kind of run up to you. Did he tell you anything after that?
He said, where's the pentakill?
All right, well, I do want to ask you about this game because it's the first game that you guys have played on 9.3. We've seen the return of Crit Marksman. Is that a change that you guys are excited for?
Yeah, I mean, it affects everyone, I guess, because it really feels like there's a big 80 difference now. So, like, if you get ahead, it kind of feels like you can actually carry. Whereas before, it's like you got Stormrazor, Rapid Fire, and you do damage, but the other guy has his Stormrazor and he's still doing okay damage. But yeah, I mean, it's really fun to play. Like, it brought back the big crits that everyone wanted.
Everyone's excited for that. But Cloud9 used to be a team that really focused on the performance of their top and their mid. But now that we've kind of seen a shift to the bot lane, how is the team dealing with that change?
It doesn't really feel like there's much of a shift. I mean, some games just work out where we get advantages. Like, me and Zeyzal 2v2'd them, and then Dennis saw an angle on Morgana, so we just got kills, snowballed. Also, with the dragon changes, it does feel a bit more like you have to play bot side, because if there's an ocean dragon, that's the first drag, it's like there's going to be a team fight, or someone's going to get it, and the game's going to feel lost. So, yeah, there's a lot more fights, but there was not much of a shift overall, because you can still play top side.
Well, Sneaky, thank you. Congratulations again. And maybe next time you'll pick up that pentakill. But that's it for us here. Back to you guys at the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Avali. Well, as Cloud9 picks up another win, Sneaky says it doesn't necessarily feel like there's more attention or necessary attention to the bot lane. But in this case, and in this game, there was very much some attention to the bot lane, and that's where those early kills came for Cloud9.
Right, I mean, you have the Apollo, Hakuho kind of famous Varus Morgana bot lane. That's where they're going to put all their attention for Echo Fox, who had been the best performing part of the Echo Fox roster, I would say. And it goes south right away. Despite him not having flash, Zeyzal able to find the initial kill, and then you heard Sneaky say, good angle by Svenskeren to get on top of them.
Play.
Right, and then this is, Echo Fox's almost entire game plan falling apart. That was supposed to be their early pressure point in the early game that you want the Lissandra and Lee Sin to go towards.
They burned the early flash and Alistar too, and they have a strong 2v2 setup. Theirs, Morgana should beat Sivir Alistar in a lane matchup, and they had priority there, but then they made a mistake. Morgana honestly should not have died there at any metric ever, but he did, and then that snowballed the lane really south for them. And it's not, like Sneaky said, it's not like they're focusing bot, but when you get an advantage somewhere in the game, you focus on that advantage and keep piling into it. As you saw, they took so many turret plates, went down there, got the kills, took the dragons, and took objectives down there.
It was an interesting game, though, because from that point, basically after that replay, oh my God, it felt like we went into slow-mo all of a sudden.
It was weird because C9 didn't need to brute force stuff. Their scaling was fine, probably better than Echo Fox's, and they made a couple of plays in their own jungle that didn't quite net kills, and they didn't need to force any harder. So like anytime Echo Fox was barely able to live, C9 felt like they were just like, meh, we'll get him next time.
I think the thing to think about that is, like, if you're not in the pressure to pull a bigger advantage, do you really need to make these plays where you have to force things, or do you just take it slower and get the win eventually? Because you have the outscaling comp, you need to take it slow, but you compare that to other regions where they have a faster win time, right? So are we playing correctly, or are they playing correctly? And to be fair, at Worlds, you know, we did get the semis, so I mean, we can't be
not a win.
Playing pretty
that's
fast.
farther than I've ever gotten,
that's
to
true,
be
it is
fair, and
further.
a lot farther than many other regions out there. You know, it's a progress.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because I think as well that this conversation, it can be different game to game, right? In one game, it can be necessary for a team to go full throttle in order to get the win, and in other games, it isn't so much. And in this game in particular, it did feel like that risk-averse style for Cloud9 ultimately was a fine approach. I mean, that is how they closed out the game. Could they have been more aggressive?
I would argue yes. And the thing is, you know, like Hai is saying, if you want to win the game, play the way that they were playing. If you want to like improve on stage, maybe you take some of these risks to try and catch up to a team like Team Liquid, who like when they make a play like this, you pick the support, that was pretty quick. Anyways, you pick the support, you force the jungler back, go to Baron, bait it, try and force a little bit harder, and they didn't do that in that play. And then once again here, you kill the top laner, and Rush is gonna revive with his passive up with almost no HP, and then they go to this Baron, they start it off. You can keep going just because Lissandra TP'd in and Rush is like 2 million units away. You can finish that Baron. Like, C9 didn't need to make these plays.
Right, but they had the opportunity.
They had the opportunity
to. Farther ahead.
Right, and like
they so choose.
Right, and like you're saying, across the world, other teams are making those plays.
Right.
Other top teams in the world do make those and convert them into Barons.
Right, and if you have TL, you know, in place of Echo Fox there, when you don't push those advantages harder, you're giving TL just more time to find their to find their comeback fight, even though their comp may have been a disadvantage at that point.
Right. Yeah. So for like the losing team, Echo Fox in this scenario, you have to find ways to get back into the game. And you look at their comp; they have a very heavy dive comp that's very magic focused damage. Varus is like half magic damage, actually, even though he's an AD carry. So you should know that you're going to get outscaled. Knowing that, how do you make these plays come back? You need to find flanks. So as you saw in the game way later into the game, that's where they started doing that. But you need to recognize that going into the game, like, hey, by the time we get to 30 minutes, we're going to get outscaled. So you have to force plays. And where can you force plays? Probably not top, where the Sion is, and that's where Lee Sin was for the majority of the game. Let's go down to bot, our carry with the Varus, bring Lissandra down there, make some plays happen there, and try to snowball your only win condition before it's too late.
Yeah, very much so. Of course, I do want to take a look at one final replay. Very C9,
Oh, boy.
I feel, this one. The attempted Penta Fountain Dive.
I'm going to say I would
Whose
probably
fault
do the
is it?
same thing as Hakugo. I don't think I would give the Penta either as a player.
You never give the Penta.
And the thing is,
for
this destroys the narrative that like everyone following a bad call is better than a split call.
Well, Sneaky didn't follow the call.
And if he did,
He would've died.
they all would have died in the game.
We will never know, Mark.
The game would still be going on, Jake.
No, you cannot say
I
definitively.
think we can know definitively that he wouldn't get the
That he
kill
wouldn't
there.
have gotten
Pretty,
that kill.
like 99.9%.
Even if he got
sure.
the kill, he's in the fountain dead.
He's dead after for
but
sure.
what
But it might
I
be
love-
worth. That's where you type worth in chat after. Whether you kill him or not, you type worth in
Still
chat.
got the win, too.
Yeah.
Hey, I love that the rest of the team committed to it, right? They were
They're
willing
having
to
fun.
put their lives on the line for Sneaky's Penta opportunities. Did not come through this time around. Time for a quick break. When we return, 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest. Don't touch that browser.